going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome here today to another Colin Cowherd reaction video, and today we are reacting to his deal or no deal, him deciding if notable NBA players will be traded this offseason. So I'm guessing he's going to be going through the main candidates like Ben Simmons, like possibly Colin Sexton, Damian Lillard, Kristaps Porzingis, maybe Kemba Walker again, and we're going to see if he thinks that they're going to be traded and if they won't be traded. I'll also give my 2 cents in this as well. Do I think they should be traded? Do I think they won't be traded? We'll see if he thinks any teams that should trade for those players. If not, I'll give kind of my predictions or teams that I think should go after some of these guys. I won't waste any of your time. We can get right into this, but also there's a link to this video down below if you want to watch it yourself. And then also, if you do enjoy the videos, drop a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it.
So Joy is going to play with us. Deal or no deal?
Will the Nets trade Kyrie Irving this offseason?
That's a weird one to start this off. Absolutely not. I bet my whole life savings that this would be a no deal and he is not getting traded. Why would they want to break up the big three after 1 year when there wasn't any like locker room issues really? Yeah, Kyrie kind of did his own thing. He got punished with COVID. He left the team a little bit, but yeah, I don't really get this at all. Him, KD, Harden, they all get along. If he didn't hurt his ankle, they were probably going to win the NBA Finals. So, yeah, I disagree. I don't even know why they put him up. Maybe they just had to throw some players in here. Definitely no deal.
Deal.
What? He thinks, okay, Joy Taylor, that's my reaction too. What? What? Oh my God. I would love to just make a bet with Colin Cowherd. Just, like, I don't know. You give me... I don't know. You give me his phone number. I'm messing, but there's no way that happens.
There is a report they will field offers. Basketball is a sport.
What?
Sport where you succeed means somebody else doesn't get the shot. Harden and Kevin Durant are greater offensive players, bigger people. I trust their bodies more, despite KD's injuries. If I have to go Harden or Kyrie, Harden gives me 80 games. Harden plays his arse off. Harden's a greater per-game scorer. I don't think this is basketball. Kyrie is just taking shots. And I do not think you can have a legitimate bench. If you want to play Kevin Durant 36 minutes, not 44, you've got to have a bench. You can't.
I don't know. I disagree with this completely. I don't think there was any reason to trade Kyrie. I mean, he was so efficient for them this year. He actually played the most games out of any of these 3 Nets this year for them throughout the regular season. He was 50, 40, 90, averaged, 27 points on insane efficiency. I disagree with this a lot. I think all 3 of them could coexist. Their bench isn't great, but it's honestly not horrible. It could be a lot worse. Like Bruce Brown, Landry Shamet. I guess really they're going to have to figure out what they need to do as a backup big. Will they be able to bring back Blake Griffin or not? Because he played well throughout the Bucks series, but I disagree with this 100,000%.
Have a bench having 3 of the top 5 offensive players in the league. I think they move Kyrie Irving.
Interesting. Will the Mavs trade Luka Doncic this up?
Okay. I thought that like a more realistic would be player would be Kristaps Porzingis, but I disagree. No, they're not trading Luka. They never will until he's like Aaron Rodgers for the Packers. They're just not going to trade him. Even if you request a trade, I don't think they will move Luka like ever.
No deal. Listen, Porzingis and Hardaway are nice pieces, but he's scored 5 times in 13 playoff games. He's scored over 40 points. And the truth is the Mavs were outscored by 43 points when he was not on the floor. Dallas does have to go get somebody who can handle the ball and spell him for about 5.5, 6 minutes a half. Luka's not the issue. The Mavs GM or coach and roster.
No shit, Luka isn't the issue.
Inability to maintain his standard is the issue. Luka's the thing you keep. You can move everybody. Coach, GM, players, you keep Luka.
Will the Warriors trade Steph Curry?
What? What are these ideas? Obviously not. They never will.
Offseason.
What?
You could certainly, when you look at the numbers, make an argument. No deal. I just think he's too popular. I still think he's one of the top 4 or 5 players in the league.
Yeah, everyone
does. He's got 1 year left on a $200+ million contract. He'll be the first player potentially ever to sign 2 $200+ million contracts.
That's absurd.
But I mean, listen, he's going to make $46 million next year, so he's going to be the highest paid player in the NBA. Now, the good news is he's not only the best shooter in a shooter's league, he's the best ball handler, and he's one of the best guys.
I think I prefer Kyrie's ball handling. I'm just saying, I prefer Kyrie's.
Warriors have 2 picks in a very good draft, a 7 and a 14. So they're going to get two rotational guys. It's
or
a very
trade.
Yeah, or they trade and get one really good guy. So I can live with paying Steph a lot of money.
Will the Sixers trade Ben Simmons this offseason?
All right, our first realistic one. All right, it was our fourth trade. It's our first realistic one. I do think he'll be traded this offseason. I think he definitely will be.
That's a deal. He's done. He doesn't fit Morey. He doesn't fit. Doc's not really into rebuilding players at this point. Doc wants already made products. He wants the omelet, not the egg. Like, he didn't want to make the omelet. Simmons is entering the second year of a 5-year deal at 177. So it's a lot of money. It's not Steph Curry money. You can move him because he's an elite defender, great size. The knock on him is he may not be real coachable. He's been coddled a lot. But I think he's a movable player. You know, a lot of people need a 6'10.5" ball handler who defends well. I mean, Rudy Gobert not doing you much in the playoffs either, and Rudy Gobert's got value. You can move him in a heartbeat, so they'll move him.
Will the Blazers trade Damian?
Okay, another realistic one. This is our second realistic one. I don't think he gets traded. As much as I'd like to see Damian Lillard on a new team, I don't think he ends up getting moved. There's two teams that I think make sense or that can really gut their roster and give solid assets and still be competitive, or I guess three. I guess it's really Boston. They can move Brown and still be competitive. The Sixers, they're probably the best team there because they can move Maxey, Thibault, Simmons, and picks. Still be competitive with Seth Curry and Embiid and Tobias Harris and obviously Damian Lillard there. And then maybe they can also get like Robert Covington in the trade as well. And then for like the Warriors, they can give up Wiggins, Wiseman, 7-14, and like 2 other firsts. It's a good package, not a great one. But I think like Philly, it's the perfect team for Lillard. It's still a big market. It's a team that was just the 1 seed, and they'd be improving themselves. Obviously, losing a lot of defense in that trade, losing Matisse Thybulle, and losing Ben Simmons would kill them on the defensive side of the ball. But you'd have Embiid. I mean, you'd kind of maybe ask for Robert Covington in that trade as well, and I think that could make sense for everybody involved. That is my favorite Lillard trade, probably Lillard and Covington for Simmons, Maxey, Thybulle. 2 to 3 firsts and 2 swaps. It's going to gut their future, but I think that's a trade that can help them win a championship or at least be title favorites in the East. Maybe, like them in the Nets for the next 3 years. Because if they want to get him beat a championship while he's in his prime, I feel like you got to do so.
Lillard this offseason.
No, because I think outside of Steph Curry, he's got no equal in the league. He's the second best or best shot maker late in games in the league. So what's the...
I mean, like, I'd prefer Kevin Durant, but no, I don't know. Actually, no, maybe I prefer Lillard over everyone. Never mind.
Point. What Portland needs is a wing scorer. They need I think they need a better backcourt mate that can defend. CJ McCollum and Dame are not great defenders.
So maybe it's a Simmons for McCollum swap this offseason.
Small, right? Like he's not. So Ben Simmons to me is not a terrible move for Portland to move CJ McCollum and draft picks. So Dame's the guy, when you have one of the best shooters in a shooters league, and maybe the best or second best clutch player in the league, you don't move him. You find players who do what he can't.
Will the Wizards trade Bradley Beal this offseason?
Another potential realistic move. I don't think that they will, even though I think that they should. I mean, they kind of backed themselves in the wall with the Westbrook trade, giving up a 2023 first, even though it's lottery protected. I disagree with that. It got you to the 8 seed. Maybe next year it brings you to the 7th or 6th seed. Probably not going to go anywhere unless you land a huge center in this draft, but I don't think Alperen Sengun or Isaiah Jackson is going to be like a Bam Adebayo notable player right away. And even if they are a notable player right away, it's not like they're going to be an all-star caliber player probably for a couple of years. So I think the Wizards are stuck. You're paying Bertans a lot of money. You're paying Russ. You're paying Beal a lot of money. Dion Hashimura could probably benefit from a lot more reps and volume and usage there. And then you can get a great package in return for Beal. I would move him. I don't think the Wizards do, though.
Yes, deal. I mean, he's going to be on his 3rd coach. He's got to want out. He's going to exercise his option. He should. It's a losing franchise. Chaos. Too many coaches.
I wouldn't say it's a losing franchise, as they've been to the playoffs most of his career, actually, this year and the years with John Wall. They did go on a 2-year stint in 2019 and 20 with not making it, but I wouldn't call them a losing franchise. You can call the Kings a losing franchise. You can call the Knicks a losing franchise. I think it's unfair to call the Wizards a losing franchise.
And you know what? It's time for Washington. Start over.
Will the Clippers trade Paul George this offseason?
I don't think so. Unless Kawhi opts out and you're starting a rebuild and you don't have any of your draft picks. So, I mean, I don't even want to think about this scenario because it's a goddamn doomsday for the Clippers. So, I don't think he gets traded nonetheless.
No deal. He's 31. I think he's got at least 3 years more of high-level 3-and-D. I mean, he can hit a 3, he can D.
He can D.
Paul's a really good player.
Look at that analyst. He can D. What?
He's one of the closest things we have to Kawhi Leonard in this league. He's a good guy. He's a gym rat. He works his butt off, sometimes in big spots. You know, say what you want, he's averaging 31 a game in his last 4 playoff games without Kawhi. So the idea that he's sinking, he missed a free... If he'd gone 1 for 2 last night, we'd be okay. He went 0 for 2, and we think he's a bum. Paul can play.
There's a little bit of a reaction to missing those. I mean, look.
Imagine they won that game 3, or no, that was game 2, or what was that? I think that was game 2, the 8 and alley-oop. Yeah, imagine they won that game. Could be a completely different series because it's 3-2 right now.
Free throws, though. Will the Pelicans trade Zion Williamson?
Oh my god, okay.
No deal.
Like, Brandon Ingram would be more of an interesting idea, because possibly, definitely. But Zion, what are we doing? He just played 2 years. He's got 2 years left on his team contract.
They're not going to trade him until they're forced to. It's like Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You don't move him until you're forced to. He is set to become a restricted free agent. They can match his offer in a couple years. I think you hire like a Chauncey Billups. You get Mike Krzyzewski on as a consultant, make him feel at least comfortable.
I think Mike Krzyzewski's probably done with basketball once he retires from Duke. He's not going to join the Pelicans.
This group of guys 1 more year. If they don't work, you go out and make a big trade, but you don't trade Zion. Again, he's as good a young big as we have. Don't screw with that.
Will the Lakers trade Anthony Davis this offseason?
A lot of unrealistic ones in here. I know it's not as exciting to put Colin Sexton or maybe Kristaps Porzingis or Miles Turner in here. But damn, there's so many ones that why are we even talking about?
I would consider it strongly. I don't think they will, because I do think Anthony's going to feel the heat. He's hearing it. He's going to put in the time. There's going to be a longer off season to get his body healthy. Anthony's going to have a really nice all-star year. He'll be in the MVP conversation. But after that, if Anthony has a huge year next year, I think I would strongly consider it. This is who he is. He doesn't put the time in. Sometimes players, when forced to do something, will. Ben Simmons probably will do some things in the next calendar year because he's forced to. But people revert back to what they are. And Anthony is not a grinder, is not an off-season workout guy, and his body tells you that. Deal or no deal.
Alright, so there's a lot of ones that, like, why are we even thinking about, like KYRIE, Steph, Luka, Zion, AD. Not even going to mention those. Obviously, there's the other ones that could potentially happen, like Damian Lillard, like Ben Simmons, like Bradley Beal. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Drop a like if you did enjoy the video. Like I said, I'll leave a link to this in the description below if you want to take a look at it yourself. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.